When we talk about the kidneys from a Taoist herbal perspective or from a traditional Chinese medicine perspective, we're talking about so much more than the simple renal function that we talk about in the West. One of the basic things you can do to support your kidneys just purely from a renal perspective is activated charcoal, because that helps your body pull out some of the basic metabolic byproducts that you're producing every single day that normally the kidneys would be left with processing. So that's, if you're just looking at optimizing renal function, that's a great thing there. And there, of course, you want to clean up your diet and things of that nature. But today we're going to look at it more from a holistic perspective and the entire kidney organ system. So this is not just your two kidneys as we think of them in the West from this perspective that we're going to look at it from. Here we're talking about the kidneys, as we say, incorporates the bone marrow, it incorporates the skeleton, it incorporates the brain. It's much more extensive. It incorporates your teeth. And so the kidneys, this is where you're storing what's called the Jing. And I'll put a link to our video about the 3 treasures of tonic herbalism, and this will go much more in depth on that. But basically, the Jing is your reserve life force. It's your deep energy storehouse. And this is something that you inherit from your parents based on how healthy they were. We've all known people who they start off life without that much Jing, and no matter what they do, they really try to work on their health a lot of times. But they're always getting sick. They're always a bit weaker. They never have that much energy. On the other hand, we all know people who started off life with a ton of Jing, and these people don't necessarily always live so healthy because they've got such an abundant reserve that they can live completely unhealthily, and they're always making fun of people who actually do live healthy, saying, "Hey, look, I'm smoking, I'm drinking, I'm partying, and I'm just as healthy as you." That can be very frustrating for somebody without that much Jing, who doesn't know how to build their Jing back up yet. But that's because this person happened to inherit a lot of Jing. Eventually, they will run out, right? That tends to be somebody who goes hard until age 58 and then dies of a heart attack, and that's one way of living life. But another way of living life is knowing how to build your Jing, how to not use up your Jing too fast, and really extend out this amazing life that we can experience. So you get a certain amount of Jing to start out with, but then what happens to it? Well, either you're doing things to deplete it, you're working too hard, you're partying too hard, you're not eating well, you're stressing too much, all this kind of stuff, not sleeping well. Then you're depleting your Jing at an accelerated rate. But if you really have all your health in alignment, you're not using Jing too fast. Use it little by little, always, and eventually you run out and you die. But you want to control that use and don't use it up too fast. And then you can do things like having a really nutrient-rich diet, getting really good sleep, eating black-colored foods or traditionally Jing-building foods, whether that's like black sesame or hoshu wu or chaga. These are the classic Jing builders. And then also Jing-building herbs. Here, you want to look at things like we have in our recharge chocolate. That's our Jing chocolate. That's why the color of that label of that chocolate is black, because that is our Jing chocolate. So in there, we have hoshu wu, we have cordyceps, we have eucommia, we have morinda, we have so in there, we have hoshu wu, cordyceps, eucommia, cistanche, morinda, and rehmannia. The real 6, incredible ones. And there's others, certainly, but these are really the core 6 most incredible Jing-building herbs. These are building up that deep life force in the kidneys. And when you have strong kidneys, you have a strong life. Strong kidneys means you kind of just feel limitless all the time. You have the power to go out there and manifest your dreams. And so these kidneys, as we look at it here, they're controlling reproduction and fertility. They're controlling the skeleton and the connective tissues, supporting the health of your bone marrow, which is where you store your stem cells that have a huge impact in the aging/anti-aging process going on in your body. This is nourishing the teeth, supporting dental health, and also mental vitality. It's traditionally said that the kidneys give rise to marrow, and the brain is the sea of marrow. And it's influencing the health of your hair, and it's controlling, they would say, one's healing energy. It was, traditionally said that healers die young unless they learn how to build their Jing, because people who are in the profession of taking care of others put tremendous amounts of energy into that. And unless they've learned to properly care for themselves, it's going to be a shorter life. But the kidneys, they're so amazing. And when you learn to respect them, you find that they deliver you the will and courage to really go out in the world and do amazing things. And so building Jing, building your kidney strength, this is one of the most important foundations of building your long-term health to be thinking about. If you have a favorite Jing herb or something that you do to support your kidney health, whether it's taking these herbs or making sure you go to sleep at a certain time or doing some practice to optimize your sleep, or what do you do to modify your stress, let me know down in the comments. I'm curious to hear. And while you're down there, do me a favor, leave us a like and subscribe to our channel. That's an absolute no-cost way to support what we're doing here, and make sure that you don't miss out on any of the fun and exciting and fascinating information that we love sharing with you. And if you want to support us in another way, of course, check out our website, addictivewellness.com. You can check out our amazing wild-grown, sugar-free chocolate products with these kinds of herbs in them. You can check out, we have individual herbal extracts, elixir blends, mycotoxin-free cacao powder, so many things to make it possible for you to build your Jing, build an extraordinary life, be super healthy, and enjoy it at the same time. Thanks again for joining me today, guys. Hope you all have a wonderful day and look forward to seeing you again next time.